Yo, what's happening, people? Okay, so time for another walk and talk, me reckons. And this time, I want to talk about something very important. Very important. In fact, it could very well be the most important thing I ever talk about in my entire life. Perhaps even the most important thing I ever talk about in your entire lives. And that is the best place to get an iced coffee. That's what I want to talk about today, because I've had iced coffee now in quite a few different places, and I reckon by internet, YouTube logic, that pretty much makes me an expert. You know what I mean? I'm obviously the world's most leading expert in coffee by now, I reckon. I think that's how that works. So I'm going to give my opinion on where I think the best place you can get iced coffee is. And here's the thing though, I reckon you might be thinking right now that I'm going to say, some quaint little place in some small part of town that nobody's ever heard of and nobody's probably ever going to go to. But no, actually, no. So I think the best place to get an iced coffee is actually Caffè Nero. Yes, big business Caffè Nero, multi-chained cafe. Was it Italian espresso, something, what better tagline is. But yes, that place with the blue and the bean and that place I'm talking about. Caffè Nero, I think, does the best iced coffee, and I'm going to try and explain why. So firstly, here's the thing. If you want to get the best tasting coffee, then yes, you're going to have to go to probably one of the local places, an artisan place. They're going to use a much better quality bean, much better quality roasters. They're going to be taking much more care in each in each cup that they make, grinding and pouring the milk and all that sort of stuff. They're going to just take much more care in making the actual coffee, and you're going to get a much better tasting coffee because of it. However, when it comes to iced coffee in particular, I find that a lot of the smaller places tends to use smaller cups for one thing, and they fill the cup with ice and then put the coffee in. And what you end up with is pretty much just a cup of ice and not much actual coffee drink. You'll get a few sips and then it's just coffee. It's just ice, excuse me. You get a few sips and then it's just ice. You get a watered down whatever remnants of the coffee that might be left, but not an actual coffee drink. It's just ice and air. And then by that point, the straw they give you, because they give you these paper straws, which nobody likes paper straws, but they give you these paper straws, and the paper straws are all crumpled up from being wet, and then there's not much drink left, and you're just sucking. You just get a jaw workout. That's what happens. You get a jaw workout because you're just sucking air and ice, and that's pretty much it. So when it comes to iced coffees, that's what tends to happen when you go to smaller places. Similar with McDonald's as well. McDonald's do a very nice iced latte. But yeah, it's the same thing. You get a little bit of a coffee drink, and then it's just ice and air. That's all you're getting after that. When it comes to Starbucks, I'm pretty sure Starbucks just gives you a cup of ice. They don't do much else in there. They give you a cup of ice, maybe some coffee flavored sprinkles or something on top of it, but you just get a cup of ice. And not only that, with Starbucks, the ice does not melt. I don't know what kind of steroids they be putting in their ice, but it just does not melt. You'd have that cup of ice for ages. For the longest time, you just have a cup of ice that doesn't melt, and that's what you get with Starbucks. Costa, I'll say, are pretty good as well. I'll put them as a second to Caffè Nero. The reason why I'll say, well, let's say coffee. Can't even talk right now. Walking and talking. Costa and Caffè Nero do a much better ice to coffee ratio, right? And that's really what it comes down to for me. They have a much better ice to coffee ratio. So when you're drinking it, you get an actual coffee drink that is cooled down by the ice, and it's just a much better experience from drinking coffee. I'm going to stop for a while because clearly I can't walk and talk right now, so I need to stop for a moment. So you get a much better ratio of ice to coffee, And that's what it comes down for me, just the ratio. So you still enjoy the coffee drink, it cools down by the ice, and you can have that and sip it over a while. You still get those crappy paper straws, but anyway, you at least get more of the actual coffee drink. The reason why I put Cafe Nero above Costa, though, comes down to one thing, and that is Cafe Nero sometimes crush up the ice. Not always, but they do sometimes crush up the ice, and to me that makes it just that little bit better. I prefer it when the ice is crushed. I don't know why they don't always. I guess it's down to whoever makes it, and maybe they don't always remember or something like that. But yeah, Cafe Nero, if they crush up the ice, it's just a much better experience. Well, not much better, but it's a better experience than when the ice is not crushed. But between Cafe Nero and Costa, you're doing okay. You're doing okay because you just get a much better ratio, and that's what it comes down to, the ratio. So yeah, if you want a better tasting coffee, Artisan places all day, every day. But when it comes to iced coffee in particular, I feel like the best place is Cafe Nero, because you get a better ratio, and if they crush up the ice, it just makes it even better. So, in my expert opinion, and flies buzzing by my ear. In my expert's opinion, the best place to get an iced coffee is Cafe Nero. Best tasting coffees. I mean, by the way, Cafe Nero don't taste awful. Let me be clear on that. Like, none of the places taste awful. Like, you're not getting a cup of somebody's vomit or something like that, and they just like have a better ratio. You do still get a decent tasting coffee. It's a little bit better when you go to Artisan places. However, iced coffee in particular, it's just too much. It's just too much ice in a cup. Way too much ice in a cup. But yeah, Nero, Nero and Costa get the ratio just right. Nero, however, sometimes crush it up and it makes it just a little bit better. So, in my coffee expert opinion, I reckon my opinion is on the level of people like was it James Hoffman and Morgan Eckroft and Ethan something. I've had coffee in a few places. That's all you need to be an expert, according to YouTube, I reckon. So, but for whatever my opinion's worth, yeah, that's what I think. But let me know what you think. Let me know where you think the best place to get an iced coffee is, or best place to get a coffee is. But until whenever, if ever, peace.